You're investing in home tuition, but your child is still struggling. They're still behind in class, they're still not independent, and your child is not gaining any confidence. Here's the truth. The way we used to learn isn't the way that works best anymore. In this video, I explain why online tuition is more structured, more focused, and will actually help your child achieve better results. For those of you who are new to the channel, hi, I'm Varjod. I'm the founder of Mobile Tutors, and every year we help thousands of students increase their GCSE and A-level grades. I scored 98% in most of my GCSE and A-levels, and I hold a first-class degree from the London School of Economics in Business, Maths and Statistics. So let's get into it. Now, reason number one why home tuition is holding your child back is because there's no long-term teaching strategy. Now, home tuition usually focuses on your child's next test, your child's next bit of homework, or what your child is currently struggling with in school. Now, on the surface, this appears helpful because your child hands in their homework on time, they feel less pressured, and they might even perform better in some school tests. However, the key is that this is short-term only. This is only for your child to get by and to perform better in some tests and maybe just help them feel less stressed. But here's the issue. This is often reactive and not strategic. This is often a cycle of putting out fires instead of building a strong foundation. Now, online tuition takes a completely different approach. It's not just about what your child feels like doing or what's coming up next week. However, online tuition will cover the entire curriculum, every topic, every skill, and every area your child needs to master. This means that your child doesn't skip the hard stuff and doesn't avoid any topics they're unsure about. They're guided through the entire course in a structured way so that there are no gaps in their knowledge. Now, this full coverage model will make sure that your child is confident in every area of the syllabus and make sure that they're ready for any test that's coming, not just those tests that are coming up next. So instead of just helping your child get by in class, this method makes sure that they get ahead, but also stay ahead. Now, another reason why home tuition is holding your child back is because lessons are not recorded. Now, online lessons are always recorded. Now, this is a real game changer for your child, not only for revision, but also for the whole learning process. Now, with traditional home tuition, when the tutor leaves, everything that was discussed is gone, unless your child takes detailed notes. But let's be honest, most students don't do this. And without a way to revisit the lesson, all of the little details are now lost. And now your child could easily lose marks. But with online tuition, by the simple click of a button, your child can watch back the lesson and make sure they don't miss a single thing that was discussed in that lesson. Now, if they didn't fully understand a concept that was covered in class, they can simply go back to the video, pause, rewind, and watch any little detail they want to make sure they can fully grasp the concept before moving on. Now, this built-in flexibility allows your child to learn at their own pace, retain more knowledge, but also solidify everything they've learned. This is particularly helpful when your child is revising for an exam and they can watch back all of the difficult topics, so they can simply go back to the lessons where all of those hard topics were covered and make sure they don't miss anything. Now, this helps with long-term retention instead of cramming everything before the night of an exam. So the third reason is the lack of accountability. Now, let's face it, with traditional home tuition, it's hard to see if your child is actually making real progress. You're paying weekly for lessons, but is it truly moving your child's grade forward? Now, without a clear structure or measurable goals, your child's progress is often just a guess. You might hear things from your tutor like, well, you seem to get it today, so well done. But is this actually a measure of progress? Now, this kind of guesswork could go on for months. By the time you've realized your child is struggling, it's often too late. You've not only wasted time and money, but most importantly, you've wasted momentum. Now, there's another big issue too. They stop trying to work out things on their own, and this kills problem solving. Students will often wait until the next lesson just to go over any problems they had, instead of working out things for themselves. Instead of learning how to think, your child just wants to know what to do. Now, online tuition is built with accountability in mind. Now, every lesson is a part of a bigger plan, with key learning objectives, progress being tracked, and all lessons being recorded so that the parent, tutor, and student are on the same page. Now, as a parent, you can see exactly what's being taught, and as a student, you know exactly what you're working towards. And your child becomes more part of the process. Instead of just waiting to be taught something, they take ownership of what they're learning, they become more independent, and ultimately this will result into them performing better, not only in exams, but also later on in life. Now, lastly, with home tuition, you're often limited to the tutors that you have access to. With in-person tuition, you're always stuck with who's nearby. You're limited by location and often compromise on the quality of tuition you're receiving. You might get a tutor who's good enough for your child, but are they necessarily the best tutor in the UK for your child? With online tuition, you can access the best tutors in the country, not just those down the street. You can work with specialists who know exactly how to teach what your child needs, whether it's exam practice or advanced level physics. You want tutors who have gone to the best universities like Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, the London School of Economics, and often these tutors are not nearby you. Now, here's the key. Online tuition matches your child with the right tutor. the one that matches your child's learning style and needs. And this results in the best outcomes for your child. Not only great results, but your child will become more confident and more independent. Why settle for tutors who are good enough or that are available, and why not get the best tutor that your child can have? So is all home tuition bad? Well, of course not. But if your child is still anxious, still struggling, and you're not seeing any better results, then it might be time to rethink the method. Now, online tuition done right will not only help your child build confidence, but it will also help them build their independence, their structure, and then ultimately all of this will translate into better exam results. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped, please leave a comment or question below, and remember to subscribe for more tips that actually help your child move forward.